Okay guys, so we're gonna be talking about this self-destructive behavior according to a survey by bankrate.com. They actually found that 34% of Gen Z and millennials feel negatively about their finances from social media. So basically what the article reads about is that people are watching other people's accomplishments on social media, and there's a huge trend where you're seeing someone's accomplishment and you're comparing that in your life to whatever they're doing. And Instagram and social media is really funny because you always see the best parts of people's lives, never the worst parts. And someone can have a beautiful Instagram, a beautiful channel, and they could have a lot of things wrong behind the scenes. And so, the reason that we're doing that is we're falling into this comparison trap. And the comparison trap is where we're thinking, that what we have isn't as good as other people, so therefore we ought to be upset. And that's just like not a great way to go about it. So there's a really good quote that comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to other people, you are stealing your own joy. There's probably so many things about your life that you could be thankful for if you had a certain perspective of it. And I know there's a lot of people out there with maybe not the quote unquote best lives, but what is the best life, right? You get to decide what you're happy with and what you're joyful about. And a lot of people, unfortunately, decide to be upset. They decide that they are not good enough. They decide that how much money they have isn't good enough and that they need money in order to be happy. Well, I just want to tell you that money is not happiness. Money is fuel to have the lifestyle that you'd like to have or to accomplish a mission that you would like to have, right? Money can de-stress you so you don't have to worry about your bills or being paycheck to paycheck, right? But money in itself as an idol is not going to solve your problems. It's not going to make you feel better about your life. Okay, so realize two things, right? Comparison's a thief of joy. And the second thing is whatever people look like on Instagram is how they want to be perceived. There may be a lot of things about them that may not be things that you actually want to, exemplify or be like. Maybe you don't want to be the way they are. Because obviously if you're maybe the richest person in the world, maybe you have some different problems. You could be greedy. I'm not saying they are, but I'm just saying there could be other things that you can be proud of. Don't compare yourself to what they're talking about, but just, hey, what are some things about your life that are great? Maybe they don't have that. Maybe they don't have the same struggles, or they probably have worse or different struggles than you, right? So look beyond the lens. I think that's a really, really healthy thing. So don't worry about your appearance. Don't worry about your careers. Don't worry about situations. Just do your best. If you're doing your best, you should feel good about your life. If you have great relationships, you should feel good about your life. If you have great family, you should feel good about your life. If you're doing things that actually mean something to you, are meaningful, you should feel good about your life. Do not compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. Again, money doesn't solve all your problems. In fact, it leads to a lot of terrible choices. Greed is a big thing where if you get sucked into money being your life, you will neglect many things like relationships and moral principles. I think being satisfied with where you're at and realizing that every really successful person probably started exactly where you're at, and that there's just like, if you want to be successful, which there's nothing wrong with that, or being wealthy, then you are going to have to develop yourself, develop your mindset, grow your skills, and you're going to have to do things that require discipline that most people aren't willing to do. And if you're willing to start doing those things, then you will be better off and be more successful. So you're going to have to say no to huge time wasters. You're going to have to say no to wasting your money. You're going to have to, again, learn to not care what others think. When you're looking at someone's Instagram, you're seeing the tip of the iceberg, and 90% of that iceberg's below the surface. And you don't know what that iceberg looks like. And if they're really successful, it's probably a lot of hard work, that you never saw, and if they're hiding things, there's going to be things hidden as well that aren't great. So again, money doesn't buy happiness. You don't need it as much as a thriving relationships and good friends. Money just helps you feel a little less stressed, and after a point it can become your only focus again if you're not careful. So let's get into this money series. Let's get right to that content, but avoid comparison. Comparison's a thief of joy. If you start feeling that way in social media, just cut out social media for a few weeks. Think about it. Like, do you actually need what these people have? And I really don't think that you do, and living below your means is also a great way to do it. And I don't think being all flashy is the way to live life in a good way. Okay, cool. So in the first episode of this money series, we're going to be just talking about understanding really basic concepts of money and understanding the role our emotions play when dealing with money. Where you want to get in life is that money is a logical thing. It's something somewhat of a necessity. You have to have it in order to live and survive in this world, but it is not your number one focus, and it's not something that takes away from the life that you want to live or takes away from your joy. And that's where you want money to be. Money can be fuel for a big mission. It can do a lot of things for us, but just like at a heart level, we want to make sure that money's not our idol, our God, and we just want to make sure that money, we are smart about it as best we can. I hope this video was somewhat entertaining, likable, and informative. I truly hope that you'll put these ideas into practice, and I would love to hear about how they helped you in your life in the comments below. Just consider supporting my podcast monthly through Anchor. The link's in the description there. Just go ahead and follow the podcast, which is also in the description on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to check out Elevate Wellness if you're interested in personal coaching, fitness, nutrition, and we should be having some live calls in the upcoming weeks and months that are totally free that you can come to and just learn about how to be healthier.